Okay, that was quick. Very nice change of pace. I'm live. I've got a paper towel for us to start with the glue. Let me get over to YouTube so I can see things the way Rosemary closed up early because she's got a storm coming in. I did not just decide to go live in the middle of Rosemary's time. I do know it's Thursday today. So, just for the record. All right. Hey, Susan. How's it going? All right. So we're just going to dive in. Hello, Betty. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. I do. I hope your dinner was delicious. And, I need to take out my trash tonight, I think. Okay. I think I'm just going to add this in over here. It's too small a piece to really use anywhere, but I hate to lose a picture. Hey, Carla. Yes, it's Friday Eve. Post hump day Friday Eve. Hope you guys are having as good a week as you can. It's turned off cold here again, in my opinion. I don't know. Els and Sandy went scaventuring while I was sleeping today. I went to bed about, I don't know, 7:45 this morning. I heard other people getting up. Sandy was up when I left the living room. I'm just adding that there so I don't lose that picture, because it's too small a piece to really use without losing the picture. Like if I added in to fill the gap, the picture would probably get covered over. So why not just stick it down and enjoy it? I love happy people in pictures. You get a little bit of that happiness, you know? When you see a happy person, you kind of want to smile or punch them in the face. You know, one of those things. I love the ring-bound edges on stuff. I do. So, yeah, Els and Sandy went out scaventuring. And I saw the few things she got, but I was watching Rosemary's stream, so I didn't see everything. I did not stay as an audience member for the unveiling. Oh, 4 meetings. Ew. Probably could have been emails. Oh boy. Caca on fire. Caca en fuego. Well, that's not pleasant. Nobody wants to encounter caca on fire. I don't think. I would not like to. How's that? Okay, so we're gonna, let's use about that much of it. And we're gonna put it in a little bit. I think that'll be nice. So let's just put some glue here. 4 meetings. That's a lot of meetings. That's got to cut into your productivity, because usually you're not getting nothing done while meetings are going on. Let's put the glue lid someplace safe. Hey, Janice, how you doing? I saw the notice come through. I'm going to watch it later when the chat becomes available. It was day 4 of Monday. The hostage situation continues. But you're alive. You're alive, and you're at home with the kitties and the food, and, you know. Whoa, I just threw stuff everywhere. That was exciting. Throwing stuff everywhere. Because that's my jam. So let's do that. And then let's try and get a longer piece over here, maybe. Okay. Do, 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 do. Needs to go up a little bit. There we go. We're going to need more glue right up here. I finished, I spent way more time reading last night than I should have. I'm going to confess that. But I did finish Amityville Horror. We put out fires, meetings, and finally finished everything with 4 minutes to spare. Oh, TGIF is a real thing. I learned not to say now what, right? It's almost as bad as saying things can't get any worse. Because they can. I think we all know they can. All right. So what about, that'll leave us a gap to fill, but I'm okay with that. Let's cut the bottom edge of that flat. So we have at least a bottom edge. And work with that. Oops. I love the Saturday Night Fever giraffe. Makes me so happy. That's going to be one of my favorites when I make a glue book out of it. It will never be covered because who could cover up a Saturday Night Fever giraffe? The only thing that would make it better is if he's wearing the white suit. Never tempt worse, yeah. I still have no work email. The tech guy totally lived up to my expectations. Oh, well, he's a wanker. Let's go with that. You guys are ready for Friday. Are we going to serial killer stuff on Friday? Yes, we are. Not just for you guys, but kind of for you guys, right? All right. I'm doing this because I want the I can do, and I don't want to cut off any more of the, although I do need to tear a little bit of that off. It's got kind of a straight edge right there. All right. Oh, now we might be there. Well, I don't really want to cover up. We'll still have to fill. There's still a little hole there. Okay, let's do that. So let's, and up here a little bit. But I don't think I need it all the way up there. We'll add that if we need to. That's going to need to be, okay. Yeah, because we definitely do not want to cover up the face on that. That's part of what's cute about it. There. Ha! I left room for a beaky nose. Let's add some glue under here. Let's do it. I'm not covering up that glue because we are going to put something there. What are we putting there? Let's put something. What do we got that's small? Oh, how about one of these decorative plates? I don't know why I said it like that. Sorry. I had a moment. Yeah, let's do a decorative plate. We're even going to tear off some of the bottom right there. Okay. Ooh. And then we'll go around the outside edge of this so that all the edges get down. Like that. Now let's clean off all the extra glue that I got carried away with. I need a glue stick over here. Glue stick, stat! It was a weird day today. I slept through most of the actual day because I went to bed so early this morning. But that meant, and I don't mean this unkindly, that I did not have to go out and spend my day in the car, which I did not want to do anyway. Okay. Yes, the corporate structure does preclude people thinking for themselves. They want you to think as little as possible. Just follow the orders, do as we say, not as we do. I hear you, Janice. It's hard. You have to encourage people to do their jobs. And she's your boss. Oh, me and the worker. Yeah, if you guys are all working in one office, there's 3 of you. Everybody should be pulling their own weight. That's what we do daily. Monday, and I don't have access. Yeah, see, you're both in the same boat, controlling people. Yes. I let me see. Where's the book? I haven't put it on my Goodreads yet. I was too tired this morning when I came in here. I laid down immediately. I'd say I went to sleep in probably less than 15 minutes. And I got up, I want to say 3:30-ish. So this is the cover. I wanted one, this doesn't matter to me, but I wanted one where you could see the face. Because there's these four windows across the bottom, or 5, that look like a mouth. Then you've got the chimney, which is like the nose. And then here you've got the eyes. That's what I wanted to be able to see. I do need to real quick come over here before this snaps off. Actually, now that I've got this out here, let me see about grabbing some washi tape. Do I have any on my desk? Probably, Amy, but you don't know where it is. I have a thing up here. Let's see. Actually, any tape will do at this moment. I just don't want this other piece to come off. I'm okay if there's a little bit missing, but the edge is very brittle, so. Or I could just back it on something. I mean, I've read it now. I don't really want that sticker on there, though. Hold on. Real quick, we'll just glue this to a piece of paper so that it doesn't come any farther apart. I'll probably use a magazine. Just because it's thin. And that way, if we ultimately want to tip it out. Okay, I'm going to have to resort to. Give me a minute here. I'm gonna turn on the heat gun. I apologize. See if we can get this started. When you put the tag on something, I needed a third hand for this shit. Sorry about the noise. I apologize. Yes, the book is actually scarier than the movie. You know, the guy in the book is blonde, so I have a disconnect now because I've seen the movie so many times. Reading the book, I always picture James Brolin, but the guy in the story actually probably looks more like Tom Schneider or uh God, who is he? The guy that played the one of the blonde Duke's brothers. I think that's more kind of what he's supposed to look like. The Wolfen, is that the same as the movie? Because I didn't know it was a book. I'll have to look that up. Well, and the guy in the book actually did bathe. Like they picture James Brolin just nasty, even to the wedding, never taking a shower, none of that, you know? Yeah, John Schneider, that's it. That's kind of who I picture for the book description. You can put up your suggestions if you envision something else based on the book description. But that was my. I guess we could do a nod to Children of the Corn if we glue this on the back of that. I think that'll work. That way, depending, because look at how aged that is, though. I love that it's old and cracking. I just don't want to lose any more pieces because this piece was here and I lost it in the it came off. That's right where my finger rests to hold the book open. And I'm sure countless other people who read it, because this book has been well read. And I love that. I love to get a used copy. See, I don't feel bad about ripping this apart at all, because I know that it's been read and loved by many people before it reached my murderous harvesting hands. Let me clean my fingers off. I got glue all over them. Is a good thing. Yeah, I know, right? Whitley Strieber's a good writer. What was the name of the book? The Alien Abduction. I think I've read those two a long time ago. It's been a while. But I did like Whitley Strieber. He wrote something else that I read too, I think. Nope, don't you dare. Don't you dare come off there. We're preserving all pieces. That way, if I come across the missing piece, I can glue it back on. So I won't trim up this edge yet, just in case I find that little piece right there. And we'll seal the front a little bit right here. Okay. Now let's come in here with some glue stick right along this edge. This is a nice, Oohoo is a nice soft glue stick. It's not as wet as which one is it? Else gave me a bunch from her test. This one is very soft. It's the glue stick equivalent of wet glue without being totally wet. And so, oops. I like using it. These two. I would use Oohoo on the regular if I could afford it. But I think they changed. This is the reason why this whole glue thing happened. My Elmer's has always been good to me, but it's not holding as well as it used to. And I find things peeling away. Oops. My bad. So, I was looking at maybe trying some different glue sticks, because I can't go all wet glue all together. It's very messy. But there, so we'll just for right now, we will roughly tear these edges to match. And we'll worry about putting it up later if we need to. We may just glue it down to like a cover or as part of a glue book. Uh-oh. None of that. I want that to stay there. Okay. So there we go. That way at least nothing else peels off it. All right. And we can do a nod to Children of the Corn if we want to. Oh, yeah. Well-loved paperbacks are the best. So now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to tear it apart, tea dye this, because the pages themselves are not brittle at all. Let's do the test. They're fine. That's just from countless and countless people held the book open just like this, just like I did. So I would bend it right here and hold this part with my finger while I read. And clearly other people have done that because, you know, the cover was worn that way. This page is worn that way. But yeah, I'll tear this apart and tea dye it. I'll glue some of the pages together and sew around the edges. Like I won't glue all the way around, just in the middles. And by putting 2 or 3, possibly even 4 together, I can get a nice page for a ring-bound book. Straub. I love Ghost Story. I have a copy of that somewhere, I think. I've read it since I've been here. Communion. Yes, I read that. I did. I read Communion. Yeah, in all of the, here's what's interesting about this book. I've read several copies. I've never seen one like this one. First of all, I've never had a book with a picture with, like, there's the house, so we'll definitely keep that. But once you get past the intro here, so this is the actual first chapter, they have the diagram of the property, which I'll have to make a copy of one of the pages if I want to use them all. But when you get to, I'm not sure, yeah, here we go. Starting in chapter 3, they start putting little pictures of flies on all of the chapter start pages. Some of them have tons, some of them only have 1 or 2. See, like that one just has 2. And that one has 2. But some of them have a ton. Let me see if I can find one with a lot. See, that one has quite a few. So yeah, I thought I would make the whole book, the whole thing, into something of a ring-bound book. Well, they made it look like a one-time incident in the movie, but actually it had happened several times and only in one room. You read that exact version? Nice. No, I love the cover, Carla. I could not be happier about that. Thank you. And now we've saved this part of the cover, so we could even do a tip-in if we wanted to, using that, you know, on the back side of a page. So we could definitely do that. It'll dry out flat. And then we've got the corn on the back, so that's fun too. Let me lay that down to dry someplace safe. Hey, Christine, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, you've got my number on the kind of books I like. Did you ever read The Uninvited? I know they made a movie out of that, but I thought the book was better. I think you've got much more. They did a good job with the movie in terms of conveying her fear and stuff, but I just preferred the book. I've got to wash off my, see, and, okay. Sorry, let's get back to the regular scheduled program. Sorry. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. These things happen around me. You know how I am. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Because we've got, it's not quite straight, but we can fix that. We can make our own. Whoop. All right. We're doing pretty good size-wise. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to put that right up there. So it was good to read it again because, you know, I watch the movie more often than I read the book. And you forget how different they are, you know, if you only watch the movie version. Now, I think later issues, I think that was the 1978 version of the book. And at the time, they were still claiming based on true events. Yeah, because you heard enough about them. Aw, thank you. I see Carla shared something with me. It's like having one of Carla's memories right here. Now we've read the same exact book. I mean, the same version of the book. How's that? Later copies, and I've read several later copies. Put in a forward or an afterword that it has been debunked. But because that's an older version, I think it's 1978 is what we said. And look at this. They published this 9 printings between August of 1978 and February of 1979. This is the Bantam movie edition, July 1979. The original was published in July 1977. And there was a 13th printing. It says March 78, but they've got, wow. So they're kind of all over the place with this. But the original was 1977. I love Half-Price Books in Texas. Right? That could be, I would love to work at a bookstore like that. They don't have any like that here. I don't think. And if they do, I would like to think Alice would have told me by now. All right, so what do we want to put here? Maybe a book page, maybe. I think I found what I want. Hold the phone. Tear the edges off. Let's, oh. Oh, yeah. I'd have a to be read pile 12 miles long. But that, you know, would be a joy to work around books. And then I get to be knowledgeable again. I have gotten so far away from my book knowledge. I don't even, aside from when Amazon sends me, you know, the first reader books of the month. And they all suck this month, by the way. I feel like sharing that for anybody who doesn't. I didn't like any of the book titles this month that they gave away for free. How snobby, right? I don't want any of your free books. I still took one. But was not in love with any of the titles. They're different everywhere. You got to get one that's got a good selection, that has a manager with an open mind, because sometimes they weed out things that they just don't morally agree with. I also love Books a Million. If I was near a Books a Million, it would be all over. I would never have money again. I'd just be throwing money willy-nilly at the Books a Million. Okay. And then, how much of the bottom can we afford to lose? Not much. Okay. But I used to say, I don't know why men give women jewelry, because a guy that gave me books would be in my heart, or a person. It doesn't have to be a guy. I think we all know. I have no specific leanings in either direction. What happens, happens. But a person who gave me books on the regular for no reason, yeah. And some of you have, so I appreciate that. There's a place, Abe Books. It's an old grocery store. Oh, nice. Abe Books is online too, though, aren't they? I think I've seen that online. So we need to, I think we need a little glue stick down here. Like that. Just a little bit lifting up right there. No loose edges. Woohoo! I am loving this collage roll, I gotta tell you. I hope you guys aren't bored. Because I am loving it. Yeah, let's do that wagon right there. That's nice. They're owned by Amazon. Oh, boo on that. Everything's owned by Amazon. I think you can find good deals there sometimes, though. And then I do like thrift books. I've had some good luck with them. I don't use eBay anymore, really, and I don't know why. I think because I don't like, you have to do so much comparison shopping, you know? And that can be exhausting. Okay, I'm going to use glue stick on the holy part so that we don't just have glue everywhere. There we go. Now we'll give that a little wipe with the nice. Very nice. Okay, let's get a big long strip going that way. And I think I know what I want. I think there's like an orange piece down in here. Oof. Let's try and use that too. Okay. Okay, let's throw out a few vintage ad stuffs. There's that. Let's see what else do we have down here. Some oranges. Ooh, we got part of a coloring book. That could be fun. Let's do that. Ooh, that needs to go over something else, though. It's real thin. I just threw lime green paper on the floor. What a toad. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. And then we've got, here we go. Spooky tree. Oh, here. There. The pink piece. Not ideal, but it'll work. We'll put the kind of creepy Indian looking guy. And he's not creepy because he's Indian. It's creepy because the way his eyes are going like to the side. Like he's got a little side eye going on. I don't need anybody on here telling me I'm racist. Okay. Yeah, I want to put that right there. Have it stick out beyond. So we're not having such, even though we're collaging it, it's getting a little bit of hard lines. So let's remedy that. Okay, I want it to go a little bit in, and then like that. So it's gonna need a little glue right here. There we go. Ours is always so well picked through. One of the problems with Goodwill here, now I don't know about this everywhere, they pick out almost all of the non-Christian books. It is rare to find anything pagan oriented. A lot of times here you can find like multiple copies of the Bible, like up to 25 copies, and heavy in the Christianity. Same thing happens at Desert Industries or Deseret, but that's Mormon owned, so you would expect that. But the Goodwill here picks out most of the non-Christian stuff, even at the bin thing. But we've been to the bin thing. I'm a little bit scared of the bin thing. I'm not going to lie. People get a little crazy, but it is fun. I'm saving this because it's super lightweight for something we might need to reinforce. Now this has a nice edge down here, so let's use that as the bottom edge, but let's cut it like right there so we don't get too much same. Now, I don't know if it's the same way everywhere, if that's just like management at the one here. But there's more than one. I think there's 2, maybe 3. And it's kind of the same at all of them. So I never really paid attention before I reached like this age. Nice. I've never read that series, but it has been recommended to me multiple times. That's a nice. Somebody probably died or, left home and left their stuff, and the parents went, if you don't pick it up, and they finally made good on that. Could be a thing. No, that's too much same together. Let's see. What about, how about a bit of vintage ad? That could be nice. Okay. But we don't need quite that much. So about that should be good. It's going to barely cover. A little bit further out. Okay. Oops. Wow. That's awfully sweet of you, Carla. For people who are true fans, a signed copy, oh my God, they must have been over the moon. My dad would have been that way about first editions. He had a bunch of first edition Stephen King's. If he could have got them autographed before he died, I think that would have been, he really loved Stephen King as a writer. Okay. We're moving along pretty good here. I'm pretty happy with how this is coming out. Not ready for him quite yet. But how about some of this? We haven't seen some of this in a while. And that'll leave us a nice space right there to fill. I like it. Let's do it. Okay. I think that's good right there. Okay, so we need a nice little piece for right here. Maybe some oranges. Where did that nice piece with the big oranges go? Right here. I like that. Let's try and get some of that. And let's work that back a little bit so it's not quite so. I'm going to take my poor scoreboard out to the garage and put it under the water, scrub it off. Yeah, before she was really famous. Was she nice at least? I hate it when they're not nice. I don't want to find that out, It's finding out that David Duchovny was such a jackass. A little bit ruined the X-Files for me. Like I never thought he is good looking, but I was never attracted to him. But I loved the character Mulder, and find out he was such a douchebag. Really, for a while at least, took away my enjoyment. Like, why you got to be a jackass? What's the point of that, man? Okay, so let's put a little Vampirella up here. I think that's nice. A little black and white in the middle of all that. We need a little fill right there. Let me get under there and wipe up the spot where the glue would have been. But just a little tiny bit of fill right there. So let's do this little row of, let's even angle it like that. Okay. Let's try and get it all the way to the edges here, because that's really the whole point of this. There we go. Oop, gap filled. Oh no, it's one of those book club things for a penny. I think we should put that. It's a bottom piece. We'd have to put it down here. Let's do it. I like it. I'm doing it. It'll cover up that. Oh, you know what? Okay, that one's trash now. Let's get a new one. Ooh. In the trash can with you. Okay. Let's, just because the other side, you'll be able to see it. Take that edge off there. And this is going to help cover that space right there, I think. Yeah, let's, so we're going to need a little more glue down here. Let's see. Nice. Now we need a spot for there. We're just doing fill left and right. Hey, Roseanne. Hello. She's lovely, funny. I hear her reading the books. Oh, nice. Yeah, because they know what they meant when, you know, how it was supposed to be said, right? Sometimes things can be interpreted in different ways. Although there are some people out there who do really good readings. And then I've heard some just terrible ones where I couldn't even listen to the book. And it's rare for me to abandon a book. Okay, nope, that's not going to fit. Phooey. Okay. You know what? We haven't used any of this in a little while. So maybe this. Let's tear off the top right there. How much? I'll save Wyoming for something else. Let's just do that whole piece right there, I guess. No. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We don't need the bottom edge, though. No bottom edge. Okay. It's going to come down here a little bit. And then we might as well put it around the outside edges as well, because that way we have a better chance of it sticking all over. Okay. Oh, there it is. The guy who starred in Sleepy Hollow. Not Johnny Depp, is it? I know he was in Sleepy Hollow. Or a version of it, at least. I know there have been several versions of movies for that. We're kind of all over the place today. I like it. Okay. Let's try and keep it straight. Oh. There's an edge coming up here. Get our glue stick. Yay, glue stick. Tom Missing. The TV series. You know what? I don't know if I saw that. Okay, I'm going to, hold on. I got to get my list. A list of things I'm trying to, what you do with your listing, you know if you could keep track of your own shit. Okay, Sleepy Hollow. No, wait, I think I did see that. What was it on? Like, it streamed on Amazon, right? When it was done? Like the whole, I think I did see that, and I enjoyed it. And I did like the guy. He had a good voice. Like, I know this is stupid because I feel like he's dumb as a box of rocks, and he may not be. It just comes off that way. And I've never bothered to investigate, but I love Vin Diesel's voice. It might have been Hulu because I don't have Hulu anymore. But that may have been where I saw it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I saw the whole thing. I think I did, but I'm not sure. That may be why it's not coming up, you know, like when I look at things. So I can go, oh yeah, I saw that. If I don't see it on the regular, I got to keep a better list of stuff I've watched. Is really, really where this is going. I think I want to get another little bit of clouds. But for now, I'm just going to fill right in here. So I'm just going to tear a strip off the bottom here. Of course, we'll take off the raw edge. Oh, you wouldn't tear enough. Of course not. Okay. Still no raw edge. Okay. Yeah, right there. That's good. Clouds and fire. You know, on that side, it goes all the way. Somebody is out there making weird noises with the cat. He now just sits in front of the door every time Els goes outside and meows as loud as he can. And he doesn't even, like, he'll do it when she's in the bathroom. We think, he doesn't do it all the time, but it goes in cycles. We think there's a female cat in heat out there. And even though he's fixed, when they were watching somebody else's cat, a female cat, he did try to engage sexually with her. And so we think he still has the urge even though he's fixed. That may be why I think I didn't see the end of it. Because it didn't have a clear ending. Maybe somebody will pick it up though. Oh, I loved Grimm. But they did end that on a good note, I think. At least it felt more complete, you know. Okay. So let's think about putting this right here. And then we can fill that nice little spot right there. This is from a Berenstain Bears book. I think it's a Halloween book. From the Halloween glue books that I made this past year. I got some new Halloween books, but I think I have an idea for a switch up for next year's. Although most of yours will last 2 or 3 years. Unless you're like me, you do creepy collaging on the regular. Okay, how about... Let's do that. I like that, the contrast of that. It's a little thicker than the surrounding stuff, though, so it's going to be interesting. Just try and get that just right to the edges there. Got a little too much. Oh, there's not some right there. Lay down. Okay, let me pull this straight a little bit. Okay. There we go. I never saw the last season of True Blood. Yeah, the books I felt, because she's a Christian, like she's very Christian, the books were almost lightweight. I liked that they were light in that way, but I really enjoyed the dark turn that I think it was HBO gave to it. It felt more real. Like, I don't think vampires would be as I mean, the books were still pretty gory, but they really took it to dark places in the TV series or in the HBO series, which I liked better. But in the last season or so, I thought it really fell down, and I absolutely despised the book endings. When she did that wrap-up book, I was disgusted. Oh, I left a hard edge there. Monkeys. Oh, we can still fix that. Fixed it. There we go. Okay. Now let's take part of this. That's the Badlands. That's the picture of the Badlands, I think. Could be someplace in Utah too. I don't know. Sometimes some of that stuff looks very similar. Still needs to be up a little bit here. Did she really? I didn't know about that. I came to the True Blood game way late when the series had already been made. So I read the books and I started watching the series, and so I was slightly ahead of the series in the books. In some places, the series is nothing like the books. Like the black gay character, it's just spoiler alert if you haven't read it, cover your ears. That black gay character, the guy, he died in the first book, and I thought he was a really good character in the series, in the HBO thing. I read all of it, and I was so disappointed. But I was late to the game, so none of it had really been spoiled for me. But I felt like it got ridiculous at the end, especially in the HBO series. Like, it just went so far. So, okay, so I'm closing the gap a little bit here, and then we'll mix it up more. So I think I'm going to put that right there. So we want to do all of this right here. And we're going to go up here. But not any higher than that. So maybe. Angle that down a little bit because we're starting to get big again. Yeah, there's that. I love the concept a lot. I think she brought a lot of originality to vampire and fairy stuff, but For me, it was largely a flub. I felt like it was such a cop out at the end, you know? But if she felt like this series stunted her and she was fed up with it, I can see why that would have happened, you know? Because her heart wasn't in it at some point. And that can lead to some shitty things. Let's fill that right there. Even maybe go to right there. Okay. Hello, Sherry. I missed it too. There you were all of a sudden. I never got into Laurel K. Hamilton. She wrote the werewolf stuff too, right? And I was kind of disgusted with the whole concept of that. Of one female wolf. If it's her I'm thinking of, that all the, you know, like, it was a little, it just felt wrong to me. I may be thinking of a different author though, but I think that was her. I had some trouble with her stuff. Okay, let's go with something weird and plain here. Oh, seriously? But not this edge. Okay, so we'll just go here, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Yes, I remember that. Yeah. And that was what happened is, and that's the problem I have a lot with paranormal books of that nature. They just become softcore porn where the plot is barely strung together and it's all, you know, in service of the next sex scene. It's all these alpha males, mine, mine, mine. How great, wonderful gods they are with giant cocks. And the women are always virgins who've never had sex. But don't have any trouble accommodating a dick larger than should be humanly possible. And always have great sex the first time. I don't like any of that. I did. That's one of my favorites. I would love to own that whole series. And I wouldn't care if it was mass market paperback. That's one I could reread. There were some of it I struggled with. But she had some interesting ideas about vampire culture and interspecies relationships and stuff that I thought were fairly interesting and a little bit novel. But again, that's having not read. Like, I quit a bunch of series. Whoever wrote the dark whatevers, it was all like dark lover, dark this, dark that. I read more than half that series, and by the time I quit, I was so disgusted with the format that it took me a little while before I started reading that kind of stuff again, you know. We're just going to put a houndstooth skirt in the middle of all this. I'm happy with it. Oops, but we got a way loose edge here. trying. Oh, we still missed a part. I never take the glue back as far as it needs to go. Let's make sure every... And these are just my opinions. If you love the books that I'm talking about, I'm not physically attacking anybody. You know, I'm not saying you are a terrible reader or you have shitty taste in fiction. Everybody likes different things. I'm speaking about what I like, and I don't mean that it's bad. Woohoo! I know, you always like, oh, I found my people. I did find them in ways you didn't expect. Yeah, that's one I could kind of read. Not like every year, but I could work my way through it over time. There were, what, 6 or 8 books in there, maybe 10? Totally love those books. Or did they make it to 13? I thought they made it to some kind of like significant number where I was like, haha, I saw what you did there. I struggled with it around the time they came out. White Demon or whatever it was, something like that, in the Hollow series, but then it picked up again. So I was happy with the way it came out. That's all I can say about that. All right, let's use this book page here because that'll give us a nice run going horizontally. So let's tuck it in just a little bit. But not with the hard edge, Amy. Not with the hard edge. On either side. So let's do that. There we go. And then, of course, we're going to need to add some glue because I ran it back further. Okay. Nice. Okay, now let's see about maybe put in some fall foliage over here into yellows. She's been recommended to me a bunch of times, but I don't know that I've read any of her books. Now, I have read her pagan stuff. Some of her specifically oriented towards pagan, like how to witchcraft information type stuff. But I don't think I've read any of her fiction. But a lot of people have recommended me to her. I just haven't got around to it. Like I said, since I got here, I would wager that I have read less than 20 books before this year. I'd have to pop over to Goodreads to see how many. But I'm supposed to be reading a book a week. And let me just pop over there real quick and see where I'm at. Because I think I'm 1 or 2 books behind. Every week it tells me 2, and then I finish one, and it's like, you're still 1 behind. I'll catch up eventually. Let me pop over there, and I can tell you. Like, I failed miserably. I put 52 last year, and I think I read 6 maybe. I might have read more than that, but it was ridiculously low compared to what I said I would read. And I used to read, you know, it was nothing to read 300 books in a year. But like I said, you know, part of that is Elsa's opinion is if you're not sitting in an office chair at a desk working, you're wasting time. Oh, that's not Goodreads. Went over to Netflix. That's not Goodreads. So let's go down here to my reading challenge. And You know, while we're here real quick, let's throw in Amityville Horror. Let me see if I can find the ISBN. Does this even have an ISBN? Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's add this in real quick. As long as we're here. I love to read, I got to tell you. Okay, so I want to... Oh, now I need to go to my books because I've already read this. And search for that. Somebody... No. Here we go. So I want to edit this and add in another read date. Add a read date. Set today. Move this back. I need to move it back to February, the last day of the month, because that's when I started it. There we go. So add the read date. Done. Didn't I save these changes? Can. Oh, I don't need that. Okay. Now we can go. No, I think we're done. Post, I see. Dork. Okay. I can't read your comments at the moment. Hold on one second. So let's see. Yeah, I picked 52. Oh, I'm on track. That book put me on track. Woohoo to Carla for sending me that. Okay, so I have read 8 out of 52. Last year I read 17 out of 52. The year before that I read 19 books, but I made a goal only 15 in 2021. And I think I got here in 2020. I can't remember if it was 2019. But 2020 I only read 2 books. So compared to what I normally read, in 2018 I read 159 books. The year before that, I read 365 books. And then I read 82. That was the first year I joined, 2016. But I've had years where I read, including children's books, about 500 books. But I used to read everything my kids read. Before COVID, you read 6 or 7 books a week. You haven't read any books since, yeah. So that gives you an idea of, so, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but Els has IBS. So sometimes she's in the bathroom for long periods and she doesn't have any control over it. She reads in there in time she can't do anything else. So I don't think she's ever really thought about, if I'm sitting and reading, you have time built in for that, even though it's an unpleasant situation, and I don't. And I have missed reading. I can't tell you how much it's been so enjoyable to just sit down and read. So now I read during my lunches, and I'll typically read a little bit after dinner. And then if I can, if I'm not too tired, I will sometimes read before I go to bed. But I have to go sit out in the living room for that, because if I lay down, out! Out like a light. Okay, I think I want that right there. So I'm not like making a complaint about Els. I think sometimes people look at situations they don't think about. And it wasn't directed at me. She feels that way about like people at large. I think because you can develop a habit of just sitting in front of the TV and not getting things done. But I think reading, no matter what you're reading, whether you're reading trashy romance novels or you're reading nonfiction of the highest order, all of it helps you. You know, it increases your vocabulary. It's good for your imagination. It opens your mind about different ideas and concepts. If you read historical fiction, you're at least picking up some history, you know? So I love to read on just a variety of things. I don't think any reading is bad. I think when you stop reading, but I will make a caveat on that because I know, like, Rosemary often says she doesn't read, but she keeps herself busy all the time. She's got so much energy. So she's learning by doing. And I think that's just as good. But people who don't read and only watch TV and then sit around and talk about how proud they are that they don't read, that's a little bit disgusting to me. Even if you read magazines, you know, you're still learning stuff about the, oh, well, I left the hard edge on there, but we're just going to have to live with it. That's a little nod towards Tucson. Yeah, some people are just doers. Yeah, I could easily read. Good night, Roseanne. Sweet dreams. It's good to spend time with you. Hope to see you tomorrow at Friday. Have a great weekend if we don't see you then. I hope you have the best weekend possible. Okay, so let's put that little S right there. I think that's a nice little addition right there. But I don't want to cover up the Tucson. Been to a bunch of Tucson concerts in Tucson when I lived in Phoenix with a friend of mine. Not my most favorite place for concerts. So there's Els will say differently because her experience. She lived there for a while. But for visiting, there's really only two areas. There's like a super rich area, and then there's like White Trashville. It was the dirtiest concerts. Like, people littered more than most other concerts I'd ever seen. So I kind of developed a not great opinion of Tucson because of that. And I also had to go several times and work a Motel 6 on Speedway. Whoa. Very different from my nice cushy Motel 6 in Scottsdale. But Els lived there, so she's got a much different opinion, you know. She when you live someplace, you learn all the good along with the bad. And we only rent for concerts, so I don't really have, beyond that, you know, any frame of reference. We did go see that bodies exhibit, the one where they had vivisected bodies and stuff. The plasticized, where they fill the body with plastic and then they slice it, and you can see everything. That was so cool. That was when I lived with a friend in both Phoenix and Scottsdale. So what do we wanna? Nope, that's not quite enough. What about like this? So if you want to hear tales of Tucson, like the good side, you could probably ask Els about it. There are some good restaurants there, though. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's not often that a normal person gets to see like that kind of in-depth detail about things. From a science standpoint, it was for me, it was pretty interesting. All right, I think we're going to add in some food here. So let's tear off this whole side here and this whole side over here. And then I think we just want to go halfway down. So maybe right about, yeah, that should be good. So what did we just tear off here? What kind of cocoa gingerbread with heaven frosting? That when you were in Texas. This would have been a number of years ago when I still worked at Motel 6, I think. So 2010, 11, or 12 probably. Before I got sick. It was before I got sick. Can you tell through this collaging that I'm a little bit food oriented? I think we put everybody to sleep. Or they're busy working. They could definitely be busy working. Okay, so I think, yeah, let's do this. And then let's cut off some of the bottom here. Then we'll tear the sides off. We'll need to put a little fill right there. But yeah, I like that. I think that's fun. I think that's a fun thing. Let's try and get that closer to the edge there. Now, I think when we unroll this and cut it, we will definitely have to put in quite a bit of stick glue on the other side where we may have loose edges. I'm catching quite a few of them. Okay. On this side, I doubt I'm catching all of them, but I'm probably not catching any on the other side because other than turning it over to show it to you, I have not really gone back. So I figure it'll be easier to fill and cover areas that are weak with napkins or other stencils, or plain areas with stencils and stuff like that. Once they're cut apart. So let's see how long we've been on. Maybe we should be wrapping this up if I'm putting everybody to sleep. An hour and 19 minutes. So let's shoot for an hour and a half, another 15 minutes. That'll bring us to a good place for closing it up. Now I will probably spray these sections before I put this stuff away tonight because my spray inks, I think I know where they are. But let's take away some of these too small to use pieces. Now we want to keep some because we've learned they're good space fillers, but all the little tiny pieces we don't really like. That's way too small. Okay, and that's too small. Now, what do we want to fill here? I don't think we want to fill it with one thing, but what about some of that? So let's tear off some edges. We'll keep that for fill right there. And then I think, so we'll say to the end of this piece will be what we do tonight. Once we reach there, we'll stop. And then we'll be on tomorrow for Friday. I may come on as early as 4, depending. I think I'm supposed to go somewhere with Els tomorrow. But that may have been the thing she was talking about today. So I'm not sure. Like, she might have gone and done it with Sandy. I can't remember. But I remember she said there was something she wanted to do tomorrow. So I need to check with that. Let's see. What do we want to put in there? Maybe that. Yeah, let's do that. But I'm going to put it up a little bit higher, and that'll leave us a space down there to fill. So let's maybe go with there. That way there's a space there to fill. See, that could be a fill strip right there. Oh, that might be perfect. Some clouds, some more clouds. Clouds is good fill, yeah. And let's fill that in right there. That's nice. Something neutral that doesn't really cover any of the other stuff. Nice. And that's from the Giraffes Can't Dance book right there. Oh, that's okay. Don't be sorry. It just gets quiet sometimes, and I'm like, I think I might have put everybody to sleep. Paying bills is important. Not fun, but important. You got to get it done. Let's maybe put some of this. It might be too soon. Oh, I forgot about the Indian. So let's put him in. Let's use him to fill that space. Okay. I know we're going to tear off a bunch of the bottom. Okay, so let's get rid of these. Oh, you got... Oh, is it midnight there? I've been on too long if it's midnight there. Okay, let's right about there. I think we need to trim that up. We'll go a little bit below that. And that's colorful enough to probably use a spill someplace else. So do we want to rip? I don't really want it to, well, we can fill that spot. That way it's not so same. Okay. Yeah. Let's just fill a nice bit of that edge right there. I think we're going to need a little bit more over here. And then up into here. Because I know it's late for a lot of people on the East Coast, you know. I kind of want to use that for fill because it's like, you can see it's some clouds there. There's just a tiny little bit that's not stuck down right there. There we go. Maybe. There we go. That'll do to bring it mostly even. There we go. Without having it too same. All right. Just after 12 there. Midnight is after 10 p.m. Okay. So collage roll is phenomenal. Let's see how big it is. Look at how big that is. I think, what do you think? A roll a quarter? April, May, January, February, March. So at the end of March, we should cut this up and start a new one. What do you guys think? That seem about right? Because we start way in here and we're way out here. Do you think we should go to June just to see how big it gets? Like, I'm okay with that, but I will tell you, it's not heavy yet, but it's a little hefty. It's got a little bit going on. So, and we can take a vote another day when more people are in here, earlier in the stream. So let's go ahead and put these things away. I don't like to work on it when you guys aren't here. It feels like cheating. But let's look at what we got done today. I think we got quite a bit done. And I'm going to try and roll it from this side so it's easier to roll it back on. See what I mean? Look there. We've got, and that's what I was talking about. I think we're going to have to, go in here and the other side. When we're all done. So this is all today. And actually, I think this is, because this is yesterday, so it's a lot, but it's not a lot compared to some other days we put on here. But I do feel like it's slightly more collagey than it has been. So now to see the back, we're going to look at it upside down though, unfortunately. I thought it was going to be longer than that, so we'll just stretch this out into the box over here. And it'll roll out of there. Still pretty good even from this side. Let's get a little glue in there. All right. Had a little pocket there. Here's our monkeys book. So not too shabby. Let's see about tightening it up a little bit though. Now I'm going to let that sit. Not quite. We'll roll it out to there because those are the wettest edges. She's the boss of the boys. Oh, I see. Let's see. Harry has a similar routine. The boys are built. Yeah, Harry does the zoomies, and she's the boss. I give them treats, and then I leave for work when I get home. Oh, there you go. Well, yeah, tortoiseshells definitely have personality. So I think we're looking pretty good. Nice mix of stuff. Hitting all the highlights of things I use and love. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. But yeah, that's I like how it's coming along. And we might like stencil around Tom Arnold with some stuff, and like there are things we can definitely add. And like back here where it's all words, we could definitely stencil or put a napkin over that. We could use a piece like this, you know, just glue it on. There's lots of things we can do to break up big spaces where there's no not much in the way of variation, because it will happen. And since we're not keeping as close an eye on the back, it could very easily happen. So, but if you wanted to do something like this and you don't want to have to work on the back side after, I would recommend using a painter's paper roll. Right? A little bit, yeah. Like that's not something I would put in a glue book or anything, but I think it's nice for this kind of project. It adds color and interest. Depending on how it's cut, he may even just be part of him on a page. We don't know how it's going to cut out once we're all done. But he was from the Arizona Sunset magazines. It's the same. Smack anyone who gave her gruff. Yeah, sometimes the small cats are the aggressive ones, aren't they? Some of them just have that big cat attitude. Don't you even? And they back it up. So yeah, I like the Arizona highways or Arizona, whatever it is, the Arizona magazine. If I see more of those, I'll definitely pick them up. They're great for the big images. I have plans for some of them for covers. That book I made for Artie Dar is how I like to make books. Like if I'm just making something mostly decorative, that has things I like in it, whether it's horror or haunted or abandoned. Dennis the Menace. Yes, the bossy girl who what is her name? Margaret? Is it Margaret? I think it might be. But if you saw that video or you saw that book, that's kind of how I like to. So I like to tuck things behind things. So I'll back a big image, not necessarily the Indian, but you let me pull something out here just for an example. Now I've mixed everything together quite thoroughly. Here's a pile. Let's see if there's something in here. So I'm not a super huge fan of, but we should use that soon. That's nice. But say something like that. Let's say I was doing a desert book. Well, that's a beautiful image. So I would cut it to the size, and then I would back it on something, put the finger hole, and then I would do another image under that, you know, on a thing. So you get like a double thing. And depending on if the book was ever meant to be written in, I would either leave the back open for writing, or I would put another image or a poem or something on the back of that. I like layering. Ooh, I love foggy landscapes so much. But I'm unlikely to ever, although maybe I should before, you know, I finally quit the. I do like the saguaro. If you're driving where there are tons of saguaros, in the rain and the kind of foggy, misty, when they have the ones, usually it's one like the iconic one you see where it's just the two arms. They look and they lean. They tend to lean all in the same direction. They look like lonely old men standing in the rain, like kind of forlorn. It's interesting. But yeah, I should probably, maybe I'll grab a few of these and some of the other ones. I didn't think about that. I have never made a book about the desert, and I've lived here for such a good chunk of my life with the pinyon pines and the You know, yeah, that's a thing I should probably, that's something we can work on while I'm working on saving up money to get myself to someplace that isn't the desert. But I would love some foggy landscapes. But whenever you get around to it, Janice, don't stress yourself. It's not like we have a lack of things to work with, but I do foggy images. I have a few things that really push my buttons, I guess. And there's not just Arizona has a pine forest up north near the Grand Canyon. Down Nevada, not so much. I don't know much about northern Nevada, but I think most of the state is desert. Yeah, a desert. Yeah, I should definitely do that. But I'll do it in kind of my style because it won't be meant for writing in. It'll just be kind of a memorial kind of thing for having lived in the desert so long. We'll get some pictures of the Grand Canyon. And yeah, so I'll start picking up things for that now. And we'll probably start it maybe in the summer. And I don't think it'll take that long once we save up stuff. So I think that's definitely a good thing to do. Oh, you know what? You can see way better on this side. Look, that's how thick the roll is. I'm not going to put it down because it'll immediately all go. But yeah, so that's what we're, there it went. Let me see if I can wrap it a little tight, and then here we go. So that's what it looks like. And it's already. So we've done a pretty significant amount of roll. But I'm thinking we may go quarterly. It would be interesting to see how big it got by June. But I think by then it might be difficult to roll and unroll. And it might actually get too big for the container. Because look at it now. We've added some of this other stuff in here. I don't want to bend anything. There's some stuff that's folded. Okay. See, it's already, I think June we might be pushed in. And the whole bin itself is a little hefty. So yeah, let's make plans for that. I like it. I'm glad you guys stuck with me till the end and we made it that far to that thought. So I think that's it for tonight. We have probably gone over an hour and a half now. A little hour 40. I hope to see you guys at Friday if you have the time, if you don't have anything else going on. We'll be serial killering. I'm probably going to try and come on around 4 just to give it a little bit extra time. I always feel like I don't want to go on past Elsa's time, but I feel like at the end I always feel a little rushed. So I'm going to see if maybe that helps. And we'll adjust from there. Maybe I'm just imagining because I have a cutoff that it's not enough time. So we'll just see what happens. If you're not comatose, I would not be surprised, Janice. You and Carla both have kind of had a heck of a week. So, however you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. Until I see you on one of my lives or in a box somewhere, I wish you the happiest of crafting. Good night, Janice and Carla and Christine and Betty and Susan, who are probably asleep. And Roseanne already left us, but good night to her as well again. Good night to Sherry. And let's see, I'm just going back. And if I have missed you, it is not intentional. You know, I have short attention span. But thank you all for coming and spending time with me. That is going to be bye. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses. The end.